their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. In your head, they're still dying. In your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. What's in your head?
Hey guys, it's pronounced Keely. Happy Halloween! It's finally the day. Today, on this last day of the days of Halloween, I am bringing you a creepy zombie tutorial. Today, I'll be making the prosthetic and also showing you how I painted it. If you want to know how to recreate this look, then please continue watching. So instead of making a face cast of my face, I just use one of these white masks you can get from like Party City, and I put a layer of tissue and glue, like Elmer's glue, and then a layer of latex, and then after that I glued on some fake nails that you can get from like Walgreens. And then as you can see here, I'm getting the latex and thin strips of cotton, and I'm kind of just creating the gums by laying it over the top and bottom of the teeth, and then just covering the whole thing in latex.
Their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. In your head, they're still dying.
After I finish that and everything is completely dried, I make some gelatin. You can use my old tutorial, the fake hand cuts used with gelatin tutorial, and that kind of shows you how to make the gelatin. And then I just lay it over it, kind of make it stringy and gross to give the illusion of gum and flesh and muscle and stuff like that. So just try to make it kind of gnarly, and then as it starts drying, kind of like take whatever you're using and like make some stringy bits. I think that makes it really cool and gives it an awesome and creepy effect. So after that, to create the kind of flaps of skin that are around it, I use thin pieces of tissue and then latex, and then I kind of just layer that process and make sure that it looks like the skin is being peeled away to expose the teeth. And then I went in with some alcohol paints. First I covered all of the exposed muscle / gum in white, and then using a reference photo I went over it in a light red, and then around the corners I started using darker reds and kind of bruised tones, and then I went over the teeth in yellow and also brown, and kind of just do this with whatever you think is best. A basic paint job including reds and darker reds and some browns is always good. And then I go over the area I want to apply the prosthetic I made with some glue and tissue. I think this just makes it less painful to peel off, but if you are going to use latex around your mouth, I would recommend putting Vaseline around the areas where you might have some like hair.
Hiding in the trash can, something's waiting for the house and how you scream. It's Halloween, running and slugging. Aren't you scared? Well, that's just fine.
And then I kind of place the prosthetic on my face, kind of measure out where it's going to be. If there's any excess room on it, put some cotton balls in there and secure it with some like masking tape. After that I apply latex. Of course you can always use Prozaid, but latex is just cheaper. I apply latex to the prosthetic and to my face, and kind of just make sure everything is pressed down and hold down there for a couple of seconds. And then after that you can just like press down on all the edges and go over them in a couple layers of latex to smooth out the edges. And also what you can do to improve the edges further, you can put some small pieces of tissue like I'm doing here, and then apply more latex or glue onto them just to kind of let the edges blend more into your natural skin. And then using shadows, I kind of make my face look more concave and really put a lot of color onto the hollows of my cheeks, and also kind of blend that in with the prosthetic. And now I'm just using alcohol paint on a stipple sponge, and I'm kind of just trying to give it texture and also help it blend into my natural skin. So as you can see, I am also doing some on my forehead, just trying to tie everything together. I'm also putting some shadows on the temples, basically anything to make you seem very skinny and zombie-like. And if you see my other tutorial, I'm repeating a method I used, which is basically getting a stiff brush and then getting a lot of alcohol or water activated paints and then just stippling on your skin. This helps create a very skin-like texture. And then I'm also going in under the eyes with some reds and browns and kind of just giving my eyes some bags like I'm a zombie who never sleeps.
Stop the things you do.
And then I'm also going on top of my eyes with some red and browns. You can use shadows or cream paints for this, but just don't use alcohol activated paints because this is bad for your eyes. Here I use shadows kind of just to accentuate the hollows of my eyes and also kind of like slim down my nose. And finally, if all else fails, add blood. This blood I purchased was from Amazon, and since the blood is very, very, very like bright red, I like to add some nice blue, dark blue, and that kind of just gives it a more maroonish tone, and I think it makes it look a lot more realistic. So even if you do have a cheap fake blood that doesn't necessarily look real, you can always make it or add colors to the already existing blood to give it a more realistic look.
Stop the things you do.
I also carried the blood all the way down my neck and onto my shirt, but the shirt was an old shirt that I could throw out right after, so don't actually do this to a nice shirt, I would recommend, because it will probably stain. So then I just popped in some creepy contacts and the look is done. So thank you guys so much for watching all these videos I've been uploading this entire week. I really love Halloween and I just want to share my love of it with you guys and try to spook you a little bit, creep you out, scare you, you know, anything, just to help make your Halloween season even creepier. So if you guys like what you see, please comment, rate, and subscribe. Happy Halloween!